Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. It is Sunday morning, which means more of a quiet meditation. On Sundays, the meditation has less guidance and more just a quiet space for us to bring ourselves into together. Sunmari, a very good morning. Danae, a very good morning. It is lovely seeing you. Hello. Our teacher for this week has been Charles Eisenstein, and today he has very clear thoughts, very clear advice around what we could possibly gain from a practice of silence. What is there for us when we immerse ourselves regularly into a quiet space? Here is today's message. We live in a world obsessed with action. A desperate need to always be seen doing, and yet our constant busyness seems to primarily result in never enough. Never enough time, never enough money, never enough acceptance, never enough stuff, just never enough, no matter how much we do, no matter how much we create. Our lives become controlled by lists, by goals, by productivity hacks. The constant pressure to do something can leave us feeling burnt out and perpetually one step behind. However, in all of our compulsive doing, have we formed any clear understanding of the results of our actions? Honey, a very good morning. Happy Sunday. Charles Eisenstein draws our attention to the products of our compulsions, asking us to pause for a moment and connect the dots. What are we actually creating while we are acting on autopilot? He says, from our immersion in scarcity arise the habits of scarcity. From the scarcity of time arises the habit of hurrying. From the scarcity of money comes the habit of greed. From the scarcity of attention comes the habit of showing off. From the scarcity of meaningful labor comes the habit of laziness. And from the scarcity of unconditional acceptance comes the habit of manipulating. Charlene, good morning. Happy Sunday. Good to see you. And then he says, I am saying that there is a time to do and there is a time not to do. But that while we are a slave to the habit of doing, that we are unable to distinguish between the two. While we have this compulsion to have to be doing, it's impossible for us to distinguish when is the time to do and when is the time not to do. As a society, we have worked ourselves into a corner of fear, of scarcity, from where we are reactively doing. The compulsion to act without having a deep understanding is what creates our hurrying, our greed, and our manipulation. Without wisdom, our compulsion of doing creates and recreates the same old problems again and again. Charles Eisenstein reminds us that the situation on earth today is too dire for us to keep acting from habit, to reenact again and again the same kinds of solutions that brought us to our present extremity in the first place. Where does the wisdom to act in an entirely new way come from? It comes from nowhere. It comes from the void. It comes from inaction. I want to repeat that just in different words. He asks the question, where does the wisdom come from to act in a new way? He says it comes from first not acting. That wisdom only comes to us from the void, from inaction. When we see it, we realize it was in front of us all along, he says. It's never far away, yet at the same time, it is in a different universe, in a different story of the world. One more thought that connects to this, he says, here's another paradox. We become better people only when we give up the quest to become better people. The solution is not in trying harder, in compulsively doing. It is in seeking out the void, the silence, the nothingness from where you can practice being the observer. Be patient, give it time, and from observing will come seeing. And from seeing we realize where our action will be helpful and where it will not be helpful. It is absolutely a paradox, yes. But if you want to become more effective, you have to first stop trying and just observe. When you react from a place of scarcity, your energy is spent reinforcing the habits of scarcity. Become the observer and your actions will become inspired from clarity. This is where the wisdom comes from. So if you're ready, you can close your eyes. We'll slip away and we'll practice that. We'll practice the ability to put the action down for a moment and observe. And by observing, maybe we'll see how we have been reinforcing the habits of scarcity. Acting from fear only creates more fear. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, Let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. Right now, the only goal is, with every exhale, to lead your body into a deeper level of softness than the one before. There is no need to try and control your thoughts, to try and prevent thoughts from happening, to try and steer your thoughts in a specific direction. But to actually just step away from the thought and bring softness into your system. With every exhale, welcome the softness. Feel your body soften. And see if you can create a deeper level of softness than the exhale before. Nothing else. I'll check in with you at the end of this phase. With your last few breaths of this phase, help your body stretch, adjust, and settle down, finding as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Roll out your neck muscles, roll out your shoulder muscles, stretch out your back muscles. Help your body settle. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. So as you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, I always want to share the example that my mind comes up with. It feels like I am slipping below the surface of the pool's water. And as I slip below the surface, there's clearly not an absence of what happens above the surface. The people walking around the pool, talking, playing, running. As I slip below the surface, all of that is still up there. I can see it, I can hear it. Yet I have slipped into a space that exists in a quieter way. Stillness is already there. We don't have to create it. And also, this stillness does not necessitate the complete absence of the noise. Simply a mode, a state that exists within us already that we can fall into. And from there, we are given the opportunity to observe. If we can't shut down these thoughts, we can at least observe what these thoughts are doing. And when that becomes a little bit easier, being a witness to what the thoughts are doing, it becomes clearer to us what we create when we compulsively follow these thoughts, when we compulsively act and react at the mercy of the thinking. We get the opportunity to see the products of our autopilot. And for a moment, we don't need to fix anything. We don't need to change anything. We can simply form a deeper understanding. So that going forward, we become better at recognizing the compulsive nudges that our programming have installed in us, and slowly get better at, in the moment, offering ourselves more space to choose. Do I need to react to this nudge that's always there? Or can I take a moment and remind myself that there are other options too? And if I'm not sure what the other options are yet, perhaps for the moment I will just observe. But here is where that practice comes from. The willingness to try this. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, slip below the surface and watch what your thoughts are doing. Become curious about what the thoughts are doing. And then try to not follow them, but come back to your next breath, and your next breath, and your next breath. Take as many easy breaths as you need, and then come back to the next breath, hold. Allow yourself to just watch. I'll check in with you at the end of this phase. Take your next big breath. take the last few big breaths of this phase together. Slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a long, slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips in. Welcome softness into every fiber of your being. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you just one or two thoughts from Charles Eisenstein. He says, "From our immersion in scarcity arise the habits of scarcity. From us living in this place of fear, we are habitually creating from fear." And here's how he describes it. He says, "From the scarcity of time arises the habit of hurrying. He says, from the scarcity of money arises the habit of greed. Because we experience a scarcity of attention, we've created the habit of showing off. Because there is a scarcity of meaningful labor, there's been this growing habit of laziness. And then, from the scarcity of experiencing unconditional acceptance, while we experience the lack of unconditional acceptance, we live in the habit of manipulation. We have a few more minutes of silence left. Let us live in the space that observes. It observes how when we compulsively do, when we are constantly on autopilot, we are reinforcing all of these habits. Compulsively creating in fear. And the results of our compulsive reactivity is simply more hurrying, more greed, more showing off, more laziness, more manipulation. Can we give ourselves the space to recognize our own compulsions and remind ourselves that there is always a wiser response? I'll check in with you at the end of this phase. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this moment, this space, this spaciousness. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for recognizing how my compulsiveness, how my autopilot tends to always recreate, repeat the past over and over again. Take a deep breath in. Thank you of learning the habit that tries to cultivate awareness. Thank you for this new habit. The habit of stopping, the habit of taking a few big breaths, the habit of trying to see first before acting. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for what this space makes available. Instead of just the options offered by compulsion, the options offered by an old program, old patterns, something more becomes available. The options offered by wisdom, by awareness, by clear consciousness. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for creating this space with us. The opportunity for spaciousness. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you so much, honey. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Sunmuddy. Thank you, Danae. Wishing you all a really beautiful day. And to remember that this inner spaciousness, I think that's what I've heard Eckhart call it, an inner spaciousness, that we always have access to it. The more we practice, the easier that access comes. And I know that there are days when we try and it feels like it's not there. But even our trying to be there means it's not absent. And even in those moments where we try and find that spaciousness and it's not there, when we trust, in a little bit of time, we are reminded, oh yeah, there it is, I feel it again. We can trust that we'll find it again and again. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day. Ciao, ciao.